crowd likes it too.
They're going to take away Jace, however. Now,
Yeah.
the Zed ban and the Kha'Zix ban, this goes to show that MVP Ozone doesn't want anyone getting into the lines to assassinate him. They're
Right.
taking away those AD assassin tools. Now, Kennen going to be first pick. I think this is very smart by KT Rolster B.
Yeah, that's a big tool to keep Imp alive.
This is what they need to do. Sona, so that MVP Ozone doesn't have the counter initiation, and Kennen, so they can't get in there like they have been,
Yeah.
and creating that huge peel.
Well, we'll see if they lock it in. I would imagine they probably will. Smite jungle Sona? Yeah, let's do it. Insect, just stick with that.
Now, I don't know if Someday can play Kennen very well, and they're going to switch it up to Diana, so they like being able to dive into the back.
I mean, Ryu's a great Diana player.
And Someday also showing some skills on Diana as well, although I have to say I am. But Insec also jungles Diana, so the Diana is really not a tell at all for KT Rolster B.
That's true.
Which is what makes them dangerous, but they are going to hand over
they let
that
him have
Kennen, and the Varus gets through as well.
That is a pretty scary team in the making for MVP Ozone. Now, how is KT Rolster B going to respond?
They're going to have less damage this time, but even more CC, and this is very similar to compositions that MVP Ozone has already run in this series.
You know, if you're KT Rolster B, do you take a chance and go for the Misfortune again, since you do have the Crescendo, or do you go for something like KT?
I don't think, well, yeah, I'm really curious as to how this is going to shake out. The Aurelia pick, you can see they're very interested in diving backwards and getting some single target pressure down.
You know, Rumble is open too, honestly.
Yeah, it would offer good engage. That may not be a terrible pick.
Well,
Twitch.
There's Twitch. Oh, and Aurelia locked in. I mean, Someday does like Aurelia, but a bit of an unconventional pick this season.
Well, Twitch here. Now, we still don't know where Diana is going. It's possible still that it's going to be a jungle Diana.
Yeah.
And now that they have all the information, there's the Jarvan pickup again. So Kennen Jarvan, this combination that has won MVP Ozone. And yeah, we see Imp getting the MVPs, but it's this insane peel that is allowing him to carry so hard.
Yeah.
And the Zyra pickup again, this is an extremely dangerous composition that MVP Ozone has managed to concoct. And KT Rolster B, are they going to be able to adapt well enough? They've seen it several times now. And they're really thinking hard about this one.
Yeah, they need to pick this very, very carefully. And the nice thing is that they've got some options. I mean, like you said, that Diana could go anywhere. So that gives them a lot of flexibility in terms of if they're going to pick up a jungler or a mid laner right now. So we'll see what they decide to choose. And Lee Sin, so all right. So
they're really interested in that early pressure and the diving potential so they can get into the back.
Can't blame them.
Yeah, and they are going to be able to follow up pretty nicely. If Diana goes in first, Lee Sin can safeguard in right afterwards. So, or Aurelia for that matter. Doesn't really matter. So a heavy dive composition. Score, selecting a champion that is going to be able to duel better and put more pressure on in lane and still have that same AoE effect that MF has. So I tentatively like this, especially considering they got Sona this game.
It all comes down to the execution. We'll see if they can do it. And here we are, guys. Our matchups will be in the top lane. Someday playing Aurelia versus Holm playing Kennen.
Aurelia also a very smart pick against a lot of AoE CC due to her passive.
Yeah. Agree 100% with that. And I gotta say, Holmes had some pretty good games today. He has definitely started to pick it up as a top laner here in Korea. Insect playing Lee Sin versus Dandy playing Jarvan the Fourth, and Insect's Lee Sin is feared throughout Korea. It's probably his best champion. Maybe Zed, I would say, but Insect is right up there as well.
The Lee Sin Sec.
Lee Sin Sec, it's true. If you watched last season, you're very familiar with that. Ryu playing Diana versus Dade playing Jace in that mid lane. Ryu looking so, both those guys looking so cocky in those pictures. So like, yeah, come at me in the mid lane. And AD carry, Score playing Twitch versus Imp playing Varus. And finally, down at support, we have Mafa playing Sona versus Mata playing Zyra. You know, they say if you play music near plants, they grow happily, but I don't think this one will. Here we go, guys. Game number 4, Rolster B versus Ozone. Let's get in the game. All right, guys. This is it, the moment of truth. KT Rolster B on the verge of being eliminated from Champion Spring by MVP Ozone. If they can win this game, they can tie it up and force a Game 5, which would be blind pick and insane. If they can, man, if Ozone can win it, they can move on to the semifinals and really take a swing at all the people that said they were the easy team, that especially KT Rolster B. They wanted this matchup. And Ozone has proven that they're a team to be taken seriously.
Absolutely. They've looked better in the playoffs tonight than they have at any point during the season. So
oh, absolutely, yeah.
I really like they came in with a plan to deal with KT Rolster and to protect him.
Yep.
And they've executed it magnificently.
Yeah. They said, you know, I mean, we do see some teams coming up with crazy strategies once in a while, but MVP says, hey, you know what? We know what we're best at. Let's just concentrate on that. Let's just kind of say, hey, you know what we're going to do, but you can't stop us.
Yeah, and the interesting thing here is that with the 100% pick ban rate of Twisted Fate, it's actually like really messed with KT Rolster B's ability to ban out their opponent, because that's taking, when they're on red side, that's taking up a very critical ban that they can't use for something like Cannon.
Yeah.
So
definitely. So they're going to get that normal start. We're not going to see any crazy invades, it looks like, this game. And will there be some lane swapping? It looks like they are going to send Score and Mata or Mafa up to that top lane. But first, we will have a pause. Kind of a buggy day today, huh?
That's right. A lot of Kazakhs, a lot of pauses.
No Kazakhs in there, yeah.
And there we go. Now I'm having some issues.
Yeah. He's like, there's something wrong with my tiny ninja. What could it be? And it looks like he's gesturing to something on the screen, so we will see what that means. In other news, thank you so much for watching, guys. We really appreciate it. We hope you enjoyed the season. We have tons of fun casting this, man. This is so much fun.
So do.
I love it.
This tournament is pretty great.
Oh, yeah.
And we're very grateful to all you guys out there, especially subscribers. Thanks a lot. Keeps the stream running.
That's right.
You are the real heroes.
Without you, if we weren't in esports, what would we be doing, Monte Cristo? You'd be at a law firm, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
And I'd still be working tech support at Verizon Wireless, probably, which was a fun job. I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed it there. Actually, I felt like Dr. House for fixing phones. I was way better at it than everybody else, though. Anyone called me, man, their phone fixed so fast.
And now we're heading back into the game, so whatever issue that Ulm was having has been resolved.
That's right.
And we'll start with pretty
there we go.
Standard openings. Dandy taking the blue. Lee Sin, Insect grabbing that red buff. And red side going up to top lane, blue side going into that bottom lane. So about as standard could be in terms of the duo positioning.
Indeed. Indeed. So, all right. Interesting.
Now, Ryu, a noted Diana player, this has been one of his main and favorite and most successful champions for a long time. And so he's going to have a little bit of a rough period, a rough patch, while he has to try and farm against this range chase. But if anybody can pull it out, it's going to be Ryu, one of the most notable Diana players here in Korea. And look at this again, Dandy already opting for very fast wards when he goes back, so picking up a vision ward right away, and that's just goes to show how aggressive a jungler Dandy is and how much of an advantage he wants to give.
Well, he needs to be really up on the counter jungling. Somebody taking some damage there, but he really needs to be up on the counter jungling as well. I mean, Insec on Lee Sin is going to be about as aggressive as it gets in most cases. So yeah, Dandy needs to be very, very on top of his game in terms of knowing where Insect is, knowing where everybody is, and being ready to respond to that.
Absolutely. And Dandy throwing down a ward right there. I mean, we do have that ward right there in the kind of the armpit.
Yep.
Right by
the corner. Oh, look out, camera.
Well, this is going to be interesting because both of these duo lanes are capable of taking down early towers and high harassment lanes. So we see these hard pushes, and a lot of it's going to depend on where these junglers end up. Now, this is going to buy a lot of Insect's time, and he's actually going to hop over with the safeguard onto a ward.
Imp and Mata don't know this is coming. Insect coming in right now. Mata taking some damage, gets queued. Coming in, they're going to pick up the first blood. Very nice. Insect saying, yeah, go ahead.
Absolutely.
Poke me with your plant spear.
Beautiful play by Insect.
Oh, he gets the Q onto Imp too, a little bit more damage.
And another fantastic resonating strike right there.
Yeah.
Second one, landing that Sonic Wave onto Mata was pretty darn amazing. And so he'll pick up that first blood once again. Insect, the king of first blood really on KT Rolster B.
Man,
and that's actually going to be huge because if this allows them to save this turret, they got what they wanted. And Lee Sin, not really the best at sitting in lane early as a jungler.
Yeah.
But if you can get that kill and you can relieve some of this pressure, giving Someday an opportunity to go back and buy, which is exactly what's going to happen. Got to pick up that Doran's Blade and a Health Crystal, so they're getting a lot more lane presence now.
Lee Sin has the best echolocation I've ever heard, ever seen, or heard. I guess it applies to both. I mean, think about it.
I like heard better, actually.
That's what I meant, totally. He can do it through trees. How do you do that?
He's the true Batman.
Yeah. You'd think that he would just get confused with all the tree trunks bouncing the sound back at him, but no. His ears are that good.
Well, KT Rolster be definitely winning the turret pushing wars in 2v1s right now.
Yeah.
And this frees up Insect a lot. So we may see some plays with Ryu once Ryu actually hits 6 right here. That's going to be a critical timing to actually deal with Dade's Jace.
All right, well, if we look across the board, it's pretty even right now. And Dandy just trying to defend that top turret as long as they possibly can. Both Score and Imp have been farming up quite nicely in their respective quote-unquote 2v1 lanes. Yeah, the junglers were there for a long time, but I'd still call it 2v1.
Out of everyone tonight, though, I'm just so impressed with Ong. I mean, this guy has had kind of a shaky season, and he came to play tonight. His Kennen has just been spot on.
He's been head and shoulders tonight better than anything we've seen from him all season long.
Absolutely. His decision-making much better. His mechanics look sharper. His engages have been game-winning, really, for MVP Ozone.
This is not the same guy that we made Long Panda references about.
No, Vitamin and really stepping up at the end of the season.
Yeah. Yeah, looking really good.
And Insect, you're still trying to camp. Someday, a very snowbally laner, so the more...
Totally. Up. Score. They're going to come in on him big time, going all in on Twitch. Can he get away? There's the flash ignite down on him as well. Can they finish him off? Dandy and Ohm really want this one. Nafa trying to do it. There he comes at home. Picks up that kill with a bit of support from Dandy. A great gank in that top lane.
Yeah.
Makes such a big difference that they were able to pick that up.
Just
really nicely done.
Barely not out of there. Dandy also flashing at the perfect time, so he didn't actually end up taking that turret hit.
Yeah.
They do see Insect right there with the ward in the brush, so there's no danger really. And Insect spending a lot of time in this bottom lane.
Yeah, he is.
But the critical thing right there is there's still that extra damage down on the top turret, and it really is going to make a big difference. KT Rolster already in the lead with a bit of extra farm across the board right now, as well as that first blood.
Yeah. I'm really, really curious to see what Someday can do with this Aurelia when it comes to late game. She's not a champion we've seen that much of this season, so it's going to be interesting to see if he can actually make it work.
I'm really curious as to what his build is going to be.
Yeah.
We have seen Assassin Aurelias going for that fast Trinity Force like we saw in Season 2, and that may be what we see here with the start of this Health Crystal.
Yeah.
We've also seen Blade of the Ruined King Aurelias.
Indeed. And here comes Insect again. They want to jump in on the Imp. There's a safeguard that gives somebody a little bit of extra shielding. There's the ult on Someday, though. Can they capitalize on it? Imp doesn't quite do it. Insect gets exhausted, but he's able to safeguard away. Over to Someday. Dade coming down, but doesn't get there quite in time. Shock Blast just in case he was trying to recall on that Tri-Brush, but it didn't work out. You know what's an interesting thing about Lee Sin? Don't forget about that because Ryu's getting jumped on here. Can Dade, oh, they catch him in the Cataclysm. Nicely done. Ryu not able to do enough to survive. Ult coming in, he's going to go ahead and ult to get out of that one. Lightning Rush and the Expunge. Not going to quite make it, all right.
And a really nice rotation there from Dade because they're trying to save this turret. You know, the all-ins by KT Rolster be in both top and bottom lane nearly simultaneously, allowing them to keep up their pressure on the turret while relieving it on their own. So I like the play that we're seeing so far.
Right.
And it also forced, even though they've lost Ryu in the mid lane, Dade has to go up into the top lane. So there's not going to be a push on mid either. But I'm really curious to see how far down the turret is in this bottom lane right now. And actually, they may get the first turret. That would actually be a huge turnaround.
Yeah, they'll get it. There it is.
For MVP. Very nicely done by them.
Yeah.
After dealing with that early death in the duo lane, it is so close, though.
Crazy series. Insec, stopping right before the Tri-Brush. Wants to wait. Here he comes in now. Home doesn't have any time to see it. There's their crescendo. Home in trouble trying to lightning rush back into lane, but doesn't work. Great gank for Insec. Oh, that was so smart that he stopped before the Tri-Brush. Brilliant move, and Dandy just doesn't get there in time.
Very smart, and also they knew that there wasn't slicing Maelstrom up, so a completely safe dive right there.
Yeah, totally.
And now they're actually going to be able to probably equalize this turret advantage right before Imp and Mata can get in the lane.
Yep.
Now there's an engage going down.
Maffa's there as well. They get the snare on score. There's the ultimate from Zyra. Can they pick him up? They can. Dandy, though, may pay for it. Yeah, Twitch gets that one. Score with a kill of his own. Ryu in a bit of trouble. Imp jumping on him as well. Insect comes in to try to defend. Maffa just trying to keep people up, but it won't save them. Oh, a double kill from Mata. Look at that. And Maffa on the run now. Can he make it a triple? Can he do it? There's the snare. It's a little bit too late for the triple now, but Dade will take one anyway.
And there's the audience getting super excited.
Yeah.
But ultimately, we still only have a less than 1,000 gold game in spite of all of that carnage. MVP Ozone in the lead.
Well, I mean, Ozone taking down Rolster B would really be doing the impossible as far as the fans are concerned. They expected almost a walkover for KT Rolster B, and it has been the exact opposite.
Well, we were talking earlier, Doha.
Yeah, we were.
I predicted KT Rolster B 3-0.
I was like 3-1 because I think Imp is really good, but not enough. So let's take a replay of that.
Look at that. This is actually just beautiful. So he gets the double knockup right there, straight into the Zyra ultimate, and it forces Insect to turn around. Now Ryu's at the back. Look at that chain of corruption. No fear in dueling this mid lane Diana. That takes a lot of composure right there. And even though...
Look at the kiting. Oh, man.
Double kill.
Wow.
For Mata. So really not where they wanted those kills to go. Imp still killless here.
Yeah.
But they did get more ultimately.
Well, the bloodthirsty support, man, they're just trying to please me. And I am pleased. You know, here's an interesting Lee Sin fact for you. Only his Muay Thai skin are his ears uncovered.
Wow.
So, I'm wondering how exactly he uses that echolocation. I mean, in his classic skin, he's got like a big head wrap wrapped around his ears.
That's so true.
That just makes him even more impressive, man. Lee Sin is just the most impressive champion in the world.
That's one of the most senseless things I've ever heard, Dylan.
There you go. Senseless. At least two of them anyway. He can still smell really well. Maybe that's how he does it.
Well, there's this dragon, very dangerous dragon dance going down right here. Now, we've got a lot of ultimates up from both sides, and none of these teams, or neither of them, I should say, has a particularly strong power spike going into this situation. So they're going to back off. It's just not worth it right now.
It's too volatile, yeah.
And a lot of wards. Place down. Someday getting that Sheen first, so looking to really front load his damage.
Yep.
And make that, he'll be able to clear waves pretty easily in this too. Ooh. But he's got to be careful because he's not that tanky.
Not yet, and he learns it the hard way. 50% damage on him there. Insect still really wants to do that dragon. Oh, man. MVP Ozone coming down. They're going to go for dragon now. They did force a couple members back. Insect ready. He's trying to smell exactly when he's going to smite. There he comes in, doesn't get the smite, but he does get back out again. Or does he? Oh, coming over the wall. Imp with the Hail of Airs and the ultimate. Oh, Imp is so good, man.
Well, I mean, I think it was a fine call from Insect to do that, but
it was worth the try, you know.
And Insect already having stolen a Baron tonight, but ultimately not working out. It does put his team even further behind.
Yeah.
So he's got to be.
I mean, you can't blame him for taking the risk. It was worth it.
Insect also picking up Merc Treads this time around to deal with the
Dade, they're going to try to jump on scoring here. He is invisible, but not to Lightning apparently. I don't know where he is. Oh. Does manage to get out just in time.
Score has to be very careful that he doesn't overextend in those situations.
It's weird
they
to see
don't
Score
have,
doing that too.
They don't have any vision right now of the top half of the map pretty much in the entirety. So for him to shove that far forward when there are several MIA, I don't know, Joe. I think KT Rolster B might be.
I think
they might be going on tilt a little bit right now.
Their composure has certainly been shaken quite a bit. You can tell. You can tell in the way they're playing. You can tell in the decisions that they're making. Ozone, though, I mean, you've got to know that the nerves are just going crazy for them right now, too. All they need to do is just hold it together for one more game, and they can move on to the semifinals. But it is so tough. I mean, the level of emotional stress on both of these teams right now is just gigantic.
Yeah, I'm really curious about Score's Blade of the Ruined King Twitch build.
Yeah.
This isn't something typically Twitch you maximize for, well, the Infinity Edge and just try and get those big crits and the big time damage with your ultimate.
We don't think they're thinking of another quick Baron, maybe.
It may be that they're doing that. I mean, KT Rolster B,
I would not be
specialists
surprised
in that tactic.
They're the bane of Baron, for sure. And I don't mean James Rowman, I mean the actual Baron in the game. Not the Red Baron.
Well, they're not able really to stop the poke either from MVP Ozone, and the fact that it's going to be difficult for them to keep these turrets upright is deeply troubling.
Yeah.
Many having to go back. They may actually lose 2 turrets right here.
I think it's pretty likely. They had 2 people have to go back, just like you mentioned, and there's not a lot of minions defending this. Imp just poking away. It looks like they have barely enough, but really close calls, and I got to say, Dade's been doing a great job with the Shock Blast. He's like a one-man poke comp on Jace.
And Insect actually going in.
He's coming into the back line, kicking Impact in the team. It's great engage, but aren't they able to get him up? They do get Imp. Ryu in the back, the fight continuing now. Someday exhausted. Score does pick up a kill on Dandy as well. Home goes down, and KT Rolster B, look at this. 4 kills. That engage from Insect, kicking Imp into the back lines was just beautiful.
Well, I'm just going to have to pick my jaw up off the floor. This is why Insect is one of the best junglers in the world. He can make stunning plays like that. And you can see him bouncing around with the wards in the back lines right there. And he actually turning this game around, giving KT Rolster B a lead again.
The Lee Sins in Korea are just on another level, man. And Imp is like a step above them. That's how good he is on Lee Sin.
I need a replay of that.
Or Insect, rather. Oh, jeez. All right.
Let's take a look at this right now. So Insect just going to go ahead and bounce with the Q, look at the ward, and then immediately back. He's like the geometry that runs through this guy's head.
Wow.
And right there, after Imp is dead, there's really no follow-up is the problem because Dade doesn't put out consistent damage.
Yeah.
And he just gets chased down by Insect.
Tetris champ NA, I'm telling you.
It's got to be really good at pool.
Yeah. Really good at puzzle bobble.
Probably does. He loads up Zuzu Bubble on his phone here.
That's right. He's probably playing it right now at the same time. He's like that good. He's like, I've got a high score on my friends list, and I'm owning noobs.
And that's exactly what KT Rolster B needs to do. And I think the scariest thing for MVP Ozone was that was just Lee Sin.
Yeah.
And they have so many other ways to get on top of him right there. They Someday didn't have to get on top of him. Ryu didn't have to get on top of him.
I gotta say, I think as far as Lee Sin plays we've seen goes, that was only just behind the Ring Troll Dragon Steel double kill. Like that play from Insect was like nearly the best Lee Sin play I have ever seen. It's so clutch.
The thought process where he, like, how do you even think, like, oh, Imp is out of position? Because it takes right there, it takes him queuing onto Kennen, dropping a ward to W to get behind him. It's like, how do you counter that, really? How do you define?
You actually can. You just have to flash away immediately. Oh, they catch Insect this time, though. Oh, not good. Someday in the middle of everything. Oh, a huge slicing Maelstrom. Dandy not doing a lot with the Cataclysm. Pretty good crescendo, but Ozone doing the damage. A kill for Mana. Ryu zoning in the middle of everything. Home on the outside, chasing away Score as best he can. Oh, nice shot quest. A double kill for Imp, too. And Ozone, they just refuse to lose a game.
And now they're charging up the middle. What a team fight there with the catch out of position in order to shut down that fight instantly. And for KT Rolster B, Score actually had a really good spray and pray during that fight, but it just wasn't enough.
This game is like a non-stop highlight reel, man. That team fight was beautiful from Ozone. Really great. These guys, you can tell from the looks on their faces that they're really rooting for Ozone.
Insect now back in the mid lane.
I'm losing my mind, man. This game is so good. And let's take a replay of that.
Yeah, Insect just trying to zone out right here, but he just gets beautifully caught by Mana and popping everything. Now you'll see in just a second. Watch him, yeah, exactly. Oh, we're not going to see it because Insect gets caught out of position again.
Not again. He gets caught. He can't get away. Or can he? No, he can't. Dade with another kill, and Dade 5-1-3 finishes Muramana. He is getting fed, man. He's gonna have a little bit of trouble getting back to the future with almost food. Oh wow, look at that guy.
That guy's like, dude, so impressed he can't even close his mouth.
I love it, man. Well, talk about literally having to pick your jaw up off the floor.
And now MVP Ozone swinging the lead back in their favor, 3,000 gold, and I don't know if KT Rolster is going to be able to do enough damage. You can see right now Dade on 1,500 gold on Ryu.
They're showing us that. I mean, Dade is getting so fed he's going to have trouble fitting through that portal back to the future, man.
It's a danger of being a fat time traveler.
Oh, he's like, my mouth is okay now.
It's okay. That just means you love esports. You're really into it.
No shame in that. I imagine there's probably hundreds of thousands of people in Korea and on the global stream at home with that same expression on their face. So many fans in Korea actually for League of Legends right now.
Someday's still the really scary target here. You can see he's getting that armor now. He'll be moving into that Randwick, and that's gonna be pretty huge. Maybe he'll get a Sunfire. We'll have to see what exactly he decides to do, but I think tying up the back line should be his #1 priority, and for that, he needs to.
He needs to, and he'll be able to do a good job at that fairly shortly. And it is very important. I mean, it's really do or die time now for KT. Although the gold lead isn't that big for Ozone, it just seems like mentality-wise, Rolster B needs a big team fight win to stay in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And most of this gold lead is due to that mid lane. That mid lane of Dade being so far ahead.
Oh, definitely.
Right now. And there's going to be some more. And KT Rolster, they're standing in a ward right now someday.
Yeah.
I really feel like KT Rolster B has not done a good job of warding in this series at all. They've constantly been losing division battles. I think that's a big contributor to their performance.
All right, well, they're going to try to take down this turret as well. Imp poking away at that. Has to be careful. There's a hail of arrows. A little bit of time where they could jump in on him when the cooldown's down, and they're going to go for it. Going in, but look at the cannon ultimate coming in right on top of that Zyra ultimate Cataclysm as well. But Someday does pick up the kill on Imp. A double kill for Dade, though, and the damage may just be getting too high for KT to handle. Oh, look at the quadra kill from Dade. An ace. And they're going to take this turret and go home happy.
Well, right there, Doa. Score.
Oh, man.
That guy.
He's my favorite fan.
Favorite fan ever.
Yeah.
So, basically in that fight, even though they got a really good pick on the him again, they forced him to use his flash. Insect finished him in the back line after a nice engage by Someday and Score, getting a really good spray and pray channel right there. But Dade has gotten so fed, and he's using this insane build that we've seen in Korea with the fast Muramana that does so much damage. Like, watch this. Someday, not really taking much damage, gets on the imp. There we go, getting the stun off immediately. Forces imp to flash backwards, but Score gets stunned for a while. But look at this spray and pray doing a huge amount of damage. Unfortunately, even with half HP, Jace, too much damage, too much armor penetration.
Even the ward didn't make it out of that one. Wow.
So KT Rolster B, I have to say, I think they had the preferential engage right
another
there.
Pause. All right.
This is by far the most pauses we've ever had in Champions.
Yeah, this is the most pauses in one day we have ever had for sure. And Ryu, a little bit upset there. We'll see what the problem is. It seems like there's been some issues on the MVP side of the computers, but I don't know. What a tense moment to have a pause in too. But this may actually work a little bit in KT Rolster B's favor because, if anything, I feel like they could really value a few minutes to kind of sit back, relax a bit, collect their thoughts, collect their emotions, and come back after this pause with a little bit better mindset. Because right now, I mean, like you mentioned, and we're seeing him bring a computer across the room right now, so it looks like somebody's going to get a new computer.
And there it is.
Yay, it's going to be for Ryu. Yep.
And right here, we are going to see, actually, Someday go for that Season 2 GA build on Aurelia, and I do really like that. I think that
it's so important right now.
Yeah, KT Rolster, if they can withstand the initial series of ultimates in AoE from MVP Ozone, then they're planning, if all else fails and Aurelia has to go down, well, at least she can come back and try and clean up afterwards in the ensuing duel fest that inevitably follows these wombo combo style team compositions.
I got to say right now, props to Riot, too, for making a game where you can actually have somebody swap computers mid-game and then come in and continue it again.
Yeah.
That is pretty awesome that you can do that in League. I like it. Good job.
Makes it quite easy. So we will be booting up that computer. I just don't know if they have anything to deal with Dade right now. We're talking about, again, he got that Muramana so early again.
He's 9-1 and 4 at the
And if we look at his build, Boots of Lucidity, Last Whisper, Muramana, BF Sword, Vamp Scepter, and Brutalizer. That is, just ridiculous damage. Well, there's no one that's going to be able to duel with him.
Riddle me this, Bat Monty. Think about this for a second. We've had so much focus on Imp the entire time, right? Suddenly we've got an opportunity where they're going to say, all right, we're going to have Dade do this incredibly high damage build on Jace and kind of deceptively create damage elsewhere.
Right, and we're looking at this team fight again right here. So they do get Imp, and the crescendo ties up Dade. And yeah, it only hits one person, but frankly, he's like so much of the damage that by stopping him for a few seconds. And again, Score gets a pretty good spray and pray off on the back there.
It was not a bad team fight for
really
KT Rolster B, but
unfortunately,
too much
Dade
damage,
is just too terrifying. And even with a full HP, look at this shock blast. One shock blast, and then auto attack takes him down. What do you do against that? You get hit by one shock blast and two auto attacks and then just die as an AD carry. Not a lot you can do.
No, not really. I mean, it's incredible. It really is. I mean, and what's incredible, too, is that now it's not just Imp they need to worry about. They've been jumping onto Imp, but now they have to worry about Imp and Dade. Holmes not going to be doing, too little himself as well. He's had, again, Holmes, what a turnaround for this guy this season. He has improved so much. His contributions to team fights, his play in lane, everything he does is so much better right now than it was. Really incredible stuff, man.
I'm just really impressed with MVP Ozone. These guys won Club Masters, and they looked very strong at the time and a real threat this season. They've had their ups and downs so far, but they came in tonight with a really solid selection of team compositions.
Yeah.
We've seen champions from these guys tonight that we haven't seen them play before, notably Almond Dade. And Dandy's just been really solid. And Almond Dandy's engages have just, over the course of the evening, been stellar. So.
And we're hearing.
Oh, okay. Oh. So Ryu cannot auto attack, actually, right
well,
now, which on Diana is
that would be unfortunate.
Quite problematic.
Yeah.
And actually might cause a regame. Because
so?
there has been this problem before, and there's not really a way to fix it.
So you're saying if he comes back in, he's going to have the same bug?
Quite probably.
Oh, if there's a regame, that would be so tragic for Ozone.
That would be a huge break for KT Rolster B, because they're currently down by 6K gold, and I don't really see a way with their team composition that they're going to be able to easily win this game.
Yeah.
They're not really heading into a point where they're going to get significantly more powerful than MVP Ozone's comp, especially with Dade being the sheer force of terror that he is right now.
I really hope that that's not going to be the case.
Me too, Doa.
Yeah, that would be just the toughest break ever for Ozone. I mean, being on the verge of knocking out a team that everybody kind of expected to be favorites to win the season, and then to have something like this happen. I mean, they're going to bring Ryu back in, and I'm sure they're going to test it. But we'll see. Freaking out, man. That's an interesting ring. It looks like a watch band for his finger.
Maybe there's a watch on the other side.
Maybe.
So whenever he looks at his palm.
Oh. He's winking at us. He's like, yep, you got it. It's my Baron timer. Nope, no watch. Oh, well.
Palm's like freaking out right now. I don't blame him. This is a really... I've heard of this Diana bug before. I know this has happened to other people in tournament settings. And
reconnecting doesn't fix it?
I do not believe so. It could be a different bug, but the autos from Diana, of course, it's especially bad on a champion like Diana that, due to her passive, really needs to auto in order to actually be effective in team fights.
Yeah.
A lot of other mages, like, doesn't really matter. Like, Karth is not autoing, whatever, right? But Diana not autoing, incredibly important.
Well, it's a melee champ, so they need that. All right. So Ryu has left the game, it looks like, or no, is back in the game, one of the two. And so hopefully we'll be able to test this soon, but I'm glad you're with me, Monty, here at the end of all things.
At the end of all things, which is the apocalypse, which I didn't even think that KT Rolster losing this series was like a real possibility.
I didn't think so either, man. I'm just absolutely blown away by this.
MVP Ozone has really outplayed them tonight.
Like, when the people on Alderaan got destroyed by the Death Star, like, they were less surprised that happened than I am right now, that the series is like this. But credit to Ozone, they have really shown that they deserve to be here. All right, we're going to go back in the game. Cross your fingers, everybody. Clap your hands and think thoughts about Diana auto-attacking.
Ryu's just heading for the Wolves. Everybody's recalling.
And the auto-attacking appears to be working.
Yes, good.
All right, excellent. There's a pause again.
You could see all the other players were recalling. Well, you guys couldn't see it, but basically everybody else just recalled to base. So they reset while Ryu.
Yeah, they're just going to make him set up from there, I guess. Okay, so it looked like the auto-attacks were doing damage from what I could see.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I think we are going to
thankfully,
we will not have to regame this, because MVP Ozone to really put it all out there tonight, and they deserve the lead they have right now, and if they can win this game, they certainly deserve to win this series.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, if they win this game, they will win the series.
Right.
So it's kind of a big deal. All right, so again, cross your fingers, guys. We're still waiting to make sure, but the game is restarting. Nice. All right, I think we're going to be okay. Famous last words, I know. But let's hope for the best. All right, Ryu checking it out. Yes, he is auto-attacking. All right. So they're going to let him start out a little bit ahead in mid lane. Obviously, was a little bit tougher without being able to auto-attack for a while, so we'll give him that little bit extra gold.
And, you know, I really believe that why KT Rolster B has had such a hard time. Look at the ward coverage that MVP Ozone has compared to KT Rolster B.
Pretty good right now.
It's been this way this entire series. Very inadequate ward coverage, which has led to great advantages. Most notably in that game where there was the Vayne and the Zed with double Blades of the Ruined King, and there was no vision on Baron. It's like, of course they're going to take a fast Baron in that situation.
Yeah. Oh, Insect just barely missing that Q. You know, Dandy, look at, they're going to kill each other's wards. Dandy coming in. He wants a piece of Insect. And here comes MVP. They're going to flash over the wall. Oh, what a snare from Mafa. Insect getting out, but he gets knocked up as well. They catch him. third time in a row, Insect's been caught, and here's home with the ultimate. Oh, they catch Ryu as well! Oh my gosh! Ryu Zonias, but will he live? Standing in the back lane, now going after Score, a double kill. For him already, a triple kill! And that, I think we just saw the end of KT Rolster B, man.
Insect's like, I don't think that Vision Ward kill was worth it.
I don't think so either, man.
Oh boy. KT Rolster B just coming apart at the seams right now. MVP Ozone heading back to base. They've got some time though.
Ozone's turning him into alphabet soup, man.
That's right.
That was a joke on the whole B part of the name.
I got it.
Okay.
Let's take a look at that again. So there's a ward war going on right here. But since basically what happens is KT Rolster B, if we look at the map, has inadequate vision. So they don't know that MVP Ozone is. Insect just doesn't know they're all right there.
Bloodthirsty supports!
And yeah, there, Insect just getting picked. I mean, it was a mistake to go after that. They didn't have any vision. Insect was trying to fight for some level of vision, but with no wards around Baron, he didn't know they were in the river. And so the follow-up from Mata, beautiful with that flash.
Yeah. And a dragon is like scaly fire-breathing icing on the cake, man. Just a little bit more gold, a few more items. Yes, the auto attack is working. Hooray.
Well, the downside of this is we will never know really how much that auto attack not working affected the outcome of some of those very close team fights, especially that really important one where Dade cleaned up.
You know, I would imagine, though, as soon as he noticed it, he would have done something, and I mean,
well,
between team fights, he would have been auto-attacking something.
Right, but he may have, what I'm saying is he may have engaged in a team fight, perhaps. We don't know.
Perhaps, yeah. I'd like to think that's not the case, but it's true. But either way, I mean, despite this game, I mean, that doesn't change the other games that Ozone won.
Nope.
Doesn't change the other two games that Ozone dominated KT Rolster B. And they have done well. I love it when a team can talk trash and back it up, man. Good. Good stuff. All right, here comes MVP Ozone now up through that mid lane. Rolster B collapsing back down again. They want to defend that inhibitor turret. And Ozone gonna maybe try to go down to this bot lane and then bait them into a fight in the jungle. We'll see.
Yeah, Dade just gonna go there and pick up some of this empty lane farm.
I guess so, never mind, yeah.
So fed, and now he's completed his Bloodthirster as well for sheer ridiculousness.
For why not? Doing even more damage. KT Rolster B coming up through the mid lane, and so yes, KT Rolster B still has a chance, but it's a remote one. I mean, they need to have some really perfect team fights, and we even saw them have a good team fight and just not be able to put up just enough damage.
Yeah, the problem is, like, Dade was just too fed right there, and they controlled Imp nicely in that last team fight. They had a decent spray, like a pretty good spray and pray, not amazing, but enough to actually clean it up. But when it came down to the last few remaining members, when you can get three-shotted by Dade, I mean, Score was at full health. He had every opportunity.
Oh, Mafa, are they going to jump on the Insect again? Oh, Insect! There's the exhaust. Oh, look at that Kennen ult, though. Home coming in with the Zonias again. They're going to chase him away. Insect escape. Or do they? Oh, someday trap the Cataclysm Ryu as well. Trying to do his best. There's a good crescendo over the top. Twitch gets a kill, but it looks like just again, too much damage. A double kill, and Imp helping clean up as well. Dade and Imp, man, it's the pain train.
You know, honestly, Dylan, the biggest single factor to MVP Ozone winning this game has been Mata's grasping roots. Like, he has caught Insect out of position with that ability
4 times in a row now.
Ridiculous. Like, the fact he is the one who is actually changing this game. 100%. And yeah, we've seen some great play by Dade, but
they're going for it. This is a bit risky. They managed to take out Mafa, and they're getting it at a Nexus turret. Here comes Insect, trying to distract them, trying to give his team time to come up, but the Nexus is going down. Has Ozone done the impossible? The Nexus dies.